Hi, I'm Greg Sales. I'm the lead for instructional design and e-learning for the One Health Workforce Project, funded by USAID out of the University of Minnesota. I've been asked by Indahun to present a series of videos, short videos, that will cover online learning, design, and development. One tool that we've created to help you understand how to go about the production of online learning is called the Lifecycle model. The Lifecycle model consists of 3 basic phases. And it's important for you to study these phases and understand the different stages within them, because often when people enter into the development of online learning, they're focused primarily on the creation of the online learning, the actual production of the learning resource. But in reality, that's only a part of the process. In addition to creation, you also have to deliver that training, and in delivering it, you need to support it and maintain it. So the Lifecycle model, in addition to those 3 phases, creation, delivery, and support, we have 7 different stages that go with it. In the creation stage, you start out with analysis. Now, analysis assumes that you have done a needs assessment and that the course you're creating is important. Once you've done that, the analysis really helps you look at who the learners are, what are their competencies, what are their skills, what prerequisites do they have completed. You need to look at the environment in which they'll be learning. Will there be noise and distractions and intermittent interruptions that they will have to be able to move in and out of this training freely? Is the online learning the entire delivery system, or will you require that the learners also have access to specialized equipment, medical devices, perhaps textbooks, charts or tables, things that will facilitate their learning, but that are not being provided through the online medium. Another critical part of the analysis is the area of constraints. What are the constraints that will exist in the development of this course? Obviously, you're going to have time constraints. No one has unlimited time to spend developing a course. You'll also have financial constraints. Your time is worth money. The time of the people you involve in the course is worth money. You may need to acquire some special assistance to help you create the course. That's going to cost money. So consider your time and your budget. But in addition to that, there may be other constraints. There may be expectations from stakeholders that you have to meet in terms of communication or other things. So consider the full sort of 360 look, completely around the circle. What are the things that you have to deal with for all your stakeholders? What are the resources you have to put to bear, and how do those contribute to constraining the work that you're going to do? After you've done your analyses and really know what your limitations and learners and so forth are, then you would move into the design phase. Design is a part of the creation process. After you've done your analysis, you create what's called a macro design, which is kind of a concept paper or a big high-level look at what you want to create. Then you take some of the key elements of that and create a rapid prototype. The rapid prototype is a way for you to test what your ideas are and how they're being implemented, and will it work for the learners and the delivery environment that you're working in. For example, if you're expecting to use video, does the bandwidth that you're requiring for the video delivery exist for the learners out in perhaps the remote areas that you're trying to deliver to? Will the training you're creating deliver on the devices that some users may want to use, such as smartphones? So there are a number of things that you learn from the rapid prototype that may cause you to go back and rethink your macro design. Once you've got that finalized, then you go on to what's called a detailed design. And in the detailed design, if you have scripts for video, if you have charts or tables or animations or illustrations that need to be created, all of those things start to come together. You describe them in your detailed design, and then later you'll actually implement the development of them and integrate them into your training. Once the design work is done, you move on to development and testing. This is where you take what's in your design and actually implement it. You produce the media, you create all the resources, you enter the content, you provide the audio files, you assemble it into a working online learning object, and then you test that object. You do a formative evaluation of it to make sure that it functions. You want to make sure the content, again, is accurate, that it's clearly communicated, it's complete, that it functions the way you expect it to. It tracks learner performance and reports data the way it should. You do all the formative testing you need to do to make any revisions that are required before you release it to a external audience, students. And I would do that initially through a pilot release to make sure that everything functions before you release it to real classes and real learners on a large scale. That process of reviewing and testing and finalizing after you've done the development, the authoring of this product, is called quality assurance. And quality assurance really checks to make sure the e-learning you're producing is the best possible e-learning that you can produce given the time constraints, budget constraints, and other constraints that are being imposed on you. Now, this is a tremendous amount of work to get it to this point, and you have to realize you aren't finished. You're really just beginning. But it's a good time to pause and celebrate. And on this life cycle model, stage 4 is marketing, and part of marketing is celebrating. That celebration includes recognizing your team members who've worked with you, communicating to your stakeholders about your successes, and generally promoting the product that you've created. Then you want to follow up with the people that you've announced that this e-learning was coming to and tell them now it's ready. You're really ready to roll it out. This is where the second phase of the Lifecycle project starts. It's called delivery. And in delivery, it's more than just dissemination. Dissemination being distributing it and making it available to your learners. It's actually moving on to a more full implementation, which requires that you control access. If you have a product and you release it to a large number of people at a single time, it may cause your system to crash. So you want to invite certain audiences to access the online learning in a controlled fashion, building up to the level that your institution can handle. Then you monitor their use, and as more people complete it, you can bring more people into the process. And you might need to facilitate the learning. People may have issues as they're working through it. It doesn't run on my operating system. I have questions about how to access some of the resources. So there needs to be, again, that two-way communication between the learner and the people who are managing the course. When the delivery is complete, everything is running smoothly, then you're moving into what's called the support cycle. The support cycle contains stage 7 in this process, which is really revising and eventually deciding to retire the product. Now, you've done all this work and you don't want to think about retiring, so I'll delay that just a little bit. But I can assure you, as you're working on these e-learning products, as you release them, you will learn things from the users by watching their scores, by watching their progress, and you'll learn things about how to motivate them, how to assess them, and you want to make revisions to the product before you release it for the next cycle. After you've released it a few times and it's a really good course, over time you'll find things have changed. The marketplace is different, learners don't need this course anymore, workers get this skill through some other mechanism, and this course no longer runs on some of the newer platforms that are available. At that point, you need to consider about retiring the course and moving on to a new approach. I want to thank you for watching along on these videos. Hope you've enjoyed them and learned some things. Hope your e-learning development goes well. On the screen, you'll notice there are a few links that have been provided. If you use these links, you can download materials that we've talked about on the various programs. I want you also to notice there's an email address. Please use that email address to send us your feedback. Let us know what we might be able to do to help you with the development of online learning or future activities as we go forward. Again, thanks for watching.